welcome to Coffee Walk at CJ Day. We've got 4 CJs in the shop. They either had major restorations or exterior cosmetic restorations that I want you to see because we're alternating weeks now for classic cars and Jeeps. If I don't show you these today, you may not see them, and I really want you to see them. So we got a CJ5, 3 CJ7s, and the last 2 are 1986 Last of Great Breed Jeeps, which are always exciting to see. So grab your cup of joe and let's go. We'll go over some color codes, we'll go over some options, and look at 4 killer cosmetic restorations. Now there's some options on these Jeeps that are customer specified. Like you can see, this is a CJ with LED lights. This guy bought this Jeep new. He said one of his #1 complaints was the lights are always dim, and they're not very bright on these Jeeps. But we've hit on this Jeep 1977 CJ5 Renegade, but it's got a 1978 Cal. We're considering this an interim Jeep. So if you look at if you come in here and you will find out what the build date was on this Jeep, it's actually August of 1977. We'll come in here and we'll go on the build decal itself, which we reproduce here. That's the 8th month, and the 9th month is when you changed over, so that would make sense that they run out of some of these pieces to build the 77s and went into 78. So this is a Levi's Edition Renegade, beautiful stripe kit, color code G7 Alpine white, restored Levi's seats, just stunning. Can you imagine walking into a showroom and seeing this in 1977? You'd have to buy it. So this customer is going to drive this Jeep. He's not putting a top back on it, and we're actually having to make the bikini top for it. It'll be just about done cosmetically, and then we've got a bunch of mechanical service work to do before we give it to the customer. And again, you can see the 77 fuel fill, not 78. T150 3-speed transmission. A lot of these have gone, but these original leather wrap knobs here, very special, really cool to see. These have not been in reproduction. Hopefully someday they will. Normally you're just going to see when the Jeep's been restored, you're just going to see a bake-like knob. Very special on the early T150 CJs. Look at the condition of this Levi's dash pad. Very, very difficult to find one this nice. These are not in reproduction either. Beautiful Levi's dash pad. Correct wheels, which we haven't restored yet. We are going to restore. Front bumper's not on it yet. Again, we haven't done the mechanical yet, but the mechanical will be done on this next week and it'll be gone. So G7 Alpine white, what we're considering an interim Jeep that we've never seen before. Very cool. 1980 Golden Eagle, color code 9P Bordeaux metallic, which is a rare color for a Golden Eagle. Also on the trim tag is a 7PK, which means it was either a Golden Eagle or Golden Hawk or LAREDO. This is the first year of the high back seats, and they are really cool, so I want you to see these. This is what led into the LAREDO seats. Complicated seats, multiple materials in them, but I want you to see the work that we did on those seats are absolutely stunning. Now again, these Jeeps are not done. We still got to put the right steering wheel on this Jeep, the right horn button, stuff like that, but it came in, had aftermarket wheels on it, restored a proper set of Golden Eagle wheels. Customer wanted oversized tires and a slight lift, but it just turned out absolutely beautiful. To see a Bordeaux metallic Golden Eagle, as you know, the stripe kits are just stunning on them. When we install these kits, I commonly put our Jeeps next to factory Jeeps. Our stripes are always put on way better than they did at the factory. They're usually off some form or fashion somewhere. Just a striking Jeep. And he also wanted a mildly built motor, so we put an RV cam in it, Edelbrock intake, 4-barrel fuel injection. And some of the options on this Jeep is this power steering, power brakes, and it's a T176 4-speed, which that's the first year you could get that in these Jeeps. If you walk up to be able to tell what a T176 looks like, you can see the shifter is a straight stick, and it's tall. And this is also a Dana 300 transfer case, the first year you could get that, as opposed to a Model 20, which would have been a very short stick. Now, 1986, there were no more CJ5s and only a handful of scramblers, which a lot of going on back and forth as whether those were US or not. We'll get into that later when we have one in here. But what's really neat to walk up to these two is these are LAREDO, so you knew they were the top of the line. But you could tell it's either an 85 or 86 by the stripe kit. But what gets you excited if you walk up to either of these Jeeps and you see this plaque right here that says Last of the Great Breed, you know it's an 86. Now, this is a factory P1 Classic Black. Now, if you watched our Instagram yesterday or what's in the booth post. This was in the booth actually probably 7 or 8 days ago. I hate missing them in the booth, so I'm gonna start doing that for you guys. So in the last 7 or 8 days, it has come this far. What a stunning Jeep. P1 Classic Black on LAREDO. Now it's a tilt wheel. The LAREDOs had leather wrapped steering wheels. They had a special horn button, leather wrapped grab bar. They all had gauge cluster surrounds, and they all had a special pinstripe around the gauge cluster surround panel. They all had tack and clock, chrome wheels, rocker moldings, on and on and on. Chrome mirrors, chrome hood latches, chrome bumper, chrome grille overlay. Most of them had side steps, but not all of them. And then you've got your rear bumperettes finishing this off. And most of what's on this Jeep is OE correct. On the aftermarket bumperettes, just cut off and go around here. This one has this section here. Really, really nice Jeep. So we did this Jeep. This is just a cosmetic restoration. Came in from North Carolina. Oh, by the way, this one came in from Oklahoma. That one came in from Nebraska. And we've had Jeeps sent to us all the way from Europe. So if you want it done and done right, we're it. Now this one right here is a combination of a major cosmetic detail on a really low mileage 86. So, and this is a highly optioned Jeep as well, power steering, power brakes. And this particular one has AC, the black one does not. T5 5-speed. But what's significant about this Jeep, and this is a local customer, he said, I want one of the finest 86 LAREDOs that you know of. So this particular one has 23,000 actual miles. Came in, he looked at it, he goes, it's a beautiful Jeep, but it's just not quite as fresh and bright as I want it. We took everything off the outside of this Jeep, did a light color sanded buff, touched up the minor areas, removed the entire stripe kit, because the stripes over time, they do shrink up, they'll have a little bit of crazing, had some nicks in them, and put a new stripe kit on it. So a very freshened up 23,000 mile LAREDO. Now he's gonna drive this. He goes, I want some modern day stuff in it, so upgrade the AC and put fuel injection on it, so we did. So the AC's been upgraded. You can see the sanding radial compressor. Obviously, we got a new power brake kit on it, and here is the Holley sniper kit. This should just be a wonderful Jeep for this guy to drive every day. Now, there's an option you hear about in 1986. We're also gonna walk around here, and this one also has Last or Great Breed plaque. Some controversy over the Last or Great Breed plaques. Many guys think that only came on Jeeps with Dana 44s. We've had original owner Jeeps in here that were not Dana 44 Jeeps that had that plaque. So in my opinion, if you've got a 1986 CJ7, you earn the right to carry the Last or Great Breed plaque. Of course, we have those in stock. But one of the biggest options everybody talks about, this particular Jeep here, it's got a Model 20 rear end in it, and probably easier to see on the Scrambler. If you're leaning under an 86 and you've got a round cover like this, you've got a Model 20. Now what you hope you have is a Dana 44. So let's go check that out. So we're gonna get down and dirty because it's worth it, because it is a rare option. Now this also has a 20-gallon gas tank, which is a full enclosure, and inside this is a plastic tank. If you can see your gas tank from the side, you have a 15. We've got to get all the way under here, and you can see that this cover is not totally round, it's got a notch in it. So this is a Dana 44. Now we have not done chassis detail on this Jeep, because that was not part of what was requested. We were doing cosmetic restoration, but a P1 Classic Black 1986 LAREDO with a Dana 44, 20-gallon gas tank, and all these other options, super rare. And when I was talking the other day in the paint booth about YJ half doors fitting on a CJ, here they are. You see they're a perfect fit. It's just kind of a cool option. Good place to rest your arm. And you can also put on a super top on these Jeeps. You have a belt rail molding, and you don't have to drill the snaps. So some people like that. And we usually have a couple pairs of these in the wrecking yard. So there you have it. 77 G7 Alpine white, 80 9P Bordeaux metallic golden eagle, and 2 1986 CJ7 LAREDOs are highly optioned. Now, they didn't sell a ton of these back then because they were expensive. If you went to your dealership, for instance, this Jeep right here, hardtop, hard doors, AC with all these options, was approximately the same price as a Cadillac or a Corvette. So they were expensive. These Jeeps were never cheap. And they're stunning. I mean, if you just look at the interior of them, to me, the CJ interiors are just absolutely phenomenal. I mean, you have these tan seats over here, you've got the LAREDO seats here, you've got the Levi seats here. The guys that were doing the styling cues and trim on these iconic Jeeps from 76 to 86 were just fantastic. So there you have it. Please like, tag, share, and follow. CJ Day, next week will be classic cars. Y'all go fast and have fun and have a great weekend.